You are watching the History Channel. Hello, and welcome to American Journey, the show that takes you to important places in American time. I'm your host, Pat Goodman. And today we are going to be focusing on the 1950s. Now, the 1950s was an important part in the 1900s. The 50s rocked its way into society with new inventions and fads, but it also brought along new fashion as well. The so-called greaser look was started in the 50s. Young boys wore blue jeans, leather jackets, and t-shirts. They would also put grease in their hair. Besides the name greasers, they were also known as wild boys. The 50s also brought new hairstyles. Men wore jelly rolls and duck butts. The women wore poodle cuts and bangs. Men would wear gray flannel suits in public. Women would wear dresses that had pinched waists and high heels. They would also wear sloppy Joe sweaters.
Thank you, Pat, for the wonderful report on fashions. But now, let's take a look at important inventions and technology in the 1950s. This was important because technology changed the lives of people in the 1950s by making them healthier or by making life easier for them to work or make money. But here's a few things how. Let's start off with medical inventions. The polio vaccine was invented in 1952 by Jonas Salk. Polio is a viral infection that affects your nerves and can lead to you being paralyzed forever. However, the polio vaccine had put an end to this deadly disease, which killed over 1 million people a year. Also, in 1953, Watson and Crick discovered the DNA structure to crack the secret of life. Okay, that concludes our medical report. Now let's go to our inventions and technology, shall we? Okay. The UN IVAC computer was invented in 1951, and it was the first computer businesses could order. It was used by the government as well, and it took up pretty much like an entire bedroom, and it had very small screens but big keyboards. However, it did have 500 microseconds on it, which was very fast for people in 1951. Vinyl records were invented in 1958, and they were a small, mass-produced stereo 2-channel record. Also, a popular invention was the transistor radio, invented in 1954. And what a transistor radio was a small portable radio using a transistor. It became very popular because it allowed people to listen to music wherever they wanted to go. And they could put it in their pockets if they wanted to. They could carry it around with them. But people were seen using them all over the place. Out exercising, in the grocery store, anywhere they went. You could bring this with you. Okay. In 1958, another important invention was created by Jack Kidley, and that was the integrated circuit. And he described it as being a semiconductor. Now, the integrated circuit can be found in your TV, calculators, alarm clocks, etc. Also, in 1951, by Charles Ginzburg, the videotape recorder was invented, so people could record themselves and deliver messages a lot easier instead of writing them. Also, another big invention were credit cards, invented in 1950 by Ralph Schneider. Now, what people could do is, once credit cards came out in 1950, people could use these cards instead of carrying a lot of money with them and worry about it getting stolen. And what they would do is they use them, and they get a bill at the end of the month where then they have to pay them. This was another invention that changed the lives of many people. And last but not least, the hovercraft. And that was invented in 1956 by Christopher Cockerell. And what it was a glider that had a big fan on the back of it and a soft cushion on the bottom of it, and that glided through the air or glided through water. And it was a very, very smooth ride. And another popular invention. I've never ridden one myself, but I do recommend, if you can find one, try one out. I'm sure they're pretty fun. Other inventions were super glue and radiant tires, which were other great inventions in the 1950s as well. Well, that's all the time we have for today. Thank you for joining me for your technology moment in the 1950s. Thank you very much.
That's our show. Thank you for watching. Now, make sure to tune in next time. What's this? Oh. Well, I'm sorry to say this, though, but this is our last show. We have been canceled. So, as always, thank you for watching. Now, if you'll excuse me, I gotta go get a new job. You knew I shouldn't have worked at the History Channel.